Hey, everybody, it's Doug Green, and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News. And I'm very pleased to have with us Lyle Pratt, who's the CEO of Vida. Lyle, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, happy to join. Thanks so much for inviting me. I've been a long time reader of telecomreseller.com, so this is awesome.
Well, I want to thank your many years of reading us and more recently, maybe listening and watching us. That's always great. It's always the best thing for me when I encounter somebody who's a reader and enjoys our publication. So thank you for reading us and backing us. But you have an announcement. Vida is announcing the integration of OpenAI Realtime API into your new product.
Yeah, so if any of your listeners or readers have tried out ChatGPT's advanced voice mode that was released a few weeks ago, OpenAI actually just opened up API access to the same technology that powers those conversational interactions in ChatGPT, and it's a little different than how these AI voice agents were powered in the past. This is actually taking in your speech or the caller's speech, and the AI on the other side is taking in all the nuances, all of the emotion, all of the tone of that speech, and it's responding in a similar way. You can hear these AI voice agents breathe. They will laugh, they have emotional range, and overall they're just much more lifelike. On top of the latency and response is also much lower.
So the first application on this would be, I'm imagining scheduling. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a very common use case that our customers use our phone agents for. Scheduling touches almost every small business activity, it seems like. If you are a tree trimmer, you're trying to get scheduled appointments to come out and see what trees need to be cut. If you're a salon owner, you're trying to schedule someone to come in, to get a haircut. It's the same thing over and over again for many small businesses, across the United States. And these AI agents are perfectly capable of solving that use case. We have a direct integration with Google Calendar, with Athena Health, with Cox Auto. So a lot of different scheduling interfaces that our AI phone agents can interact with. And, they're perfectly capable of looking up availability on a calendar. And if there's a conflict, letting the caller know, and choosing a different one, or even canceling appointments. So absolutely, scheduling is a very common use case that we solve.
So let's just stay with this for a second, because this is something, and it's interesting that businesses you just listed, it's a challenge for very large organizations, even the largest, but it's also the challenge for someone who's doing hair or a single person law office, smaller organizations like that. You're saying that it's functional, it can do the scheduling and so on, but the other part of it is, it sounds like it makes people who are calling in comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, these things sound and feel lifelike. Maybe they don't sound exactly like a human, but they're pretty doggone close. And now that you can hear them breathe and you can hear them laugh, all the things that your brain is trained to recognize, when it's on a phone call, these AI voice agents can do now with OpenAI's new speech-to-speech API.
And something, some of the larger organizations had some speech, or some lifelike reactions and so on, but now you're saying this is accessible to someone who's doing roofing.
Absolutely. I come from a long time of building telecom software. My last company, we built one of the first white label web only based business phone systems. I built telecom APIs for Cinch and Inteliquent for a number of years. And, something that keeps standing out to me is that these conversational voice or conversational AI technologies were previously only accessible to bigger companies that were willing to spend a lot of money making them work. And not only that, but they were built on tech that's essentially legacy tech now. So with the latest explosion in LLM capabilities, and especially with new technologies coming out like this OpenAI's Realtime API that we've been talking about, these things are accessible to small businesses, if you're a plumber, if you're a tree trimmer, if you're a salon owner, but it's also accessible to larger businesses as well. We have a number of customers that handle all of their inbound, first tier support calls with our AI agents. So, whether you're big or small, you can use this technology now.
Now, I understand this is available to the MSP community as a white label program.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So Brandon Robinson, one of my co-founders, we have a long history of working in the white label telecom space, selling to VARs and selling through MSPs. So we definitely understand that, that's how a lot of the business communications business gets done in this country. If you're any of the big players in the UCaaS space, whether you're 8x8 or RingCentral, they understand the value of selling through VARs and MSP partners. So we're doing that, from the beginning. We're making our products and services available, white label to MSPs. We have full SIP support on our stack behind the scenes. So it's very easy to send calls straight to us and straight back out to your infrastructure. So this product has been built from the ground up with MSPs and VARs in mind.
Well, with that, let's take a look. I understand you've queued up for us an actual demo. We can actually see this in operation.
Yeah, so let me show you here. So this is just a little demo dashboard for my account. You can see I have an inbox here, to see, the calls that my agent has been handling. We record everyone so you can hear what your agent is doing on the phone. You get a summary of what exactly happened on the phone. You can see a transcript of the call, what your agent said and what the caller said. And then this is pretty key here. You can turn your agent off in particular conversations. So, if a particular customer calls and you want that call to go straight to you and not to your agent, you can just turn your agent off. So I'll pop into configuring an agent. It's pretty straightforward. You give your agent instructions just like you would a new employee, or just like you would be prompting ChatGPT. You tell it who it is, what its goals are, what types of information should it collect. And then it also has access to functions that it can run on the phone call. So, my agent can take a message and it can transfer calls to me, but it can also transfer calls to any phone number and even dial extensions. Other functions we have available: your agent can send an email while on a live call. It can send a text message. It can call out to your existing infrastructure via webhooks. It can schedule calls by interfacing with Google Calendar and other scheduling backends. So the agent has a lot of capabilities to actually do things while it's on the phone, just like a person would. So also you can give your agent access to any information on your website, or like maybe you have support PDFs that you want it to be aware of. You can give your agent that information just by adding it right here. You can configure how you want your agent to answer the call, what voice it should use, what language it should speak, and a whole host of other things. One of the interesting things about this new OpenAI speech-to-speech integration is it isn't limited to only speaking one language on a call. It can actually speak any language, to anyone. So if your agent answers the phone and they're speaking Spanish, it can respond in Spanish. If they're speaking Chinese, it can respond in Chinese. It's not limited in any way by language. And just I'll also pop in here, our API is built with developers and MSPs and resellers in mind. So please do check out our API documentation. And we also have a whole host of integrations via Zapier, and with even more showcased in our documentation. So hopefully that gives a 50,000 foot view of how easy it is for these things to set up. Every account can have more than one agent. Resellers can create more than one organization under their reseller account. We provide a dashboard that looks very similar to this to manage those accounts. So everything you need to start selling voice phone agents to your customers, we have it here at Vida.io.
It's all there, and it sounds like it's scalable. In other words, it sounds like, and also scalable from the standpoint of how sophisticated or unsophisticated the customer is.
Absolutely. We've designed this such that a small business owner with no knowledge of how these things work can come in and configure an agent, and they do it every day.
Right.
But they're flexible enough for even more complex use cases. We haven't encountered use cases that these things couldn't solve so far.
So if you have a customer, larger customer who knows exactly where he wants to go, you can step back and allow that to happen. But that was exactly what I was wondering about. What about that customer who says, "Hey, I really need this, but I don't know how to do this"?
Yeah, well, we do offer hand-holding, and one-on-one
Yep.
support, which can sometimes be useful, especially if you have, let's say a custom back office that you need your agent to be able to integrate with. We do offer integration support. We'll assign a developer to build any integration, that you might need into your back office. And that does come up, especially for larger deals. But for most people, your plumbers and your tree trimmers, your salon owners, they have everything they need right here in the application.
So, Lyle, well, we still have this up. I understand you actually have an audio for us to listen to of how this kind of sounds.
Yeah, let me cue that up. So this was, I'm telling the agent a joke here, and the intent is just so you can hear, how it breathes and responds and
Right.
laughs, to jokes. Let me see if I can get that going.
Heck, that's pretty cool. Hey, can I tell you a joke? Absolutely. I'd love to hear your joke. Go ahead. Yeah, what kind of award did the Scarecrow win? I don't know. What kind of award did the Scarecrow win? He was outstanding in his field. That's fantastic. Outstanding in his field. I love it. Got any more jokes up your sleeve? Yeah, what do you get when you cross a brown chicken with a brown cow? I don't know. What do you get? Brown chicken, brown cow. That's hilarious. Brown chicka, brown cow. Such a clever one. Thanks for sharing those laughs. Got anything else for me? That's it. I hope you have a good day, Alice. Thank you. You too. Take care.
So, in the real life interaction, it would, your company, your organization, you mentioned roofer, we talked dentist, we're talking law office and so on. You're going to be encountering individuals in all sorts of situations, stress levels, dispositions, so on. You do need to have a system that's capable of emotionally encountering the customer where they are.
Absolutely, it's really important, to essentially just get empathy, across the phone line. It's kind of like when you're just chatting, with someone or sending, texting with someone, you lose so much context because there isn't any emotion information, flowing across that communication channel. And this new innovation, it really helps solve that and meet customers and callers, where they are.
Also, it occurs to me that again, I'm sort of thinking about the operations where staff is limited and so on. Everyone's encountered a customer or client that is emotionally unhappy for whatever reason,
Sure.
and it sounds like this system, can at least have a calming effect on the person that's anxious.
Absolutely. And, keep in mind how the agent sounds and, its emotional range and, all of those things, it can be prompted in your instructions. So, if you want the agent to speak, in a certain way or at a certain pace with this new speech to speech engine that we've integrated with, things like that are actually possible now.
Now, is this available now? Can we actually come to you and start reselling?
It is. So the speech to speech feature we have to turn on behind the scenes right now, but it is on our website. So sign up for one of our plans. Tell us you're interested in the new speech to speech API that OpenAI has released, and we'll get you turned on immediately.
Well, Lyle, this has really been interesting. By the way, again, I want to thank you again for being a longtime listener and watcher and reader of our publication. Where can we learn more about Vida?
Yeah, our website's vida.io. So yeah, please do go check it out. We have a ton of examples, example agents that are on our website that you can chat with and interact with just to sort of see how it works. It's totally free, to sign up and start configuring an agent to try it out. So, please do that as well. But With that said, hey, if you are a reseller or a VAR or an MSP that's interested in offering these things to your customers, that is our primary focus. We are the only game in town, providing solutions like that to resellers. So please talk to us. We'll be happy to help you out.
Well, again, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and I getting to know about this really interesting product.
Yeah, Doug, same to you. Thank you so much for all you do for this segment of the industry. Again, a long-time reader of your blog. Brandon Robinson, one of my co-founders as well, said the same thing. So thanks again.
Well, I send greetings to him as well, and thank you very much indeed.